So I bought a Kawai K1. It's a keyboard built to compete with Roland D50 and the M1. Kawai has a really good acoustic instrument market, but they're always a lesser competitor in the synth market to Korg and Roland. I hate Kawai. It's a long story, generally bound to General MIDI. We'll get to that another day when I actually show the keyboard that I bought that kind of ruined my life in the 90s. So looking at what we have here, it's a really pretty tight synth. It's got pitch bend module. It's got this joystick which doesn't seem to do anything out of the box. But I like as far as build and engineering of building a compact but yet functional kind of interface, it's not bad. So this is literally my first time booting up this synthesizer since I bought it from the person recently. And I'm playing the Sanctuary sound, which is a sound that exists on later Kawai instruments, like the KC20, the case in point that I mentioned before. The controls, like the modulation, are way too like dynamic, and then the joystick doesn't do anything out of the box. So it seems like it's really odd. I'm trying to figure out where are the effects, where are the ways to make sound just a little bit better. One thing that's really interesting with these patches on this instrument is the touch sensitivity. Like it literally will change the sound completely if I hit it hard or if I hit it lightly. I find that a little bit disheartening or disrupting because I oftentimes can do a little bit of both, soft play and hard play, and sometimes the sound just totally changes. Kind of cool, and I think if you're a more nuanced player, it's probably really great. But it's also like it just seems kind of like not really well thought out. But when I said before that I hate Kawai, I'm actually hearing some of these sounds. This is all the multi patches, so that's really what we're focusing on today. Just taking this thing out of the box, so to speak, for the first time. Some of these sounds are really good. I mean, they're like, yeah, they are definitely born in the '80s, but I like the richness of them. It does feel like there's like a depth of tone, and whoever was the sound designer, um, had really good thoughts in mind when they were creating these sounds. Um, I think it's a little bit weird that we as a user can't do too much manipulation from what I can tell. Again, first look. But yeah, like I'm not offended by the keyboard sound at all. It's actually quite good for in 1987. One thing that is bugging me as I go through these patches is how like disorganized they are. There's like a lead, then there's a horn, then there's a split section. It's just all over the place. Like, and maybe this is something that didn't quite exist in the '80s, but certainly we've come to know and love, or maybe not love, but know, is that generally sounds are kind of organized into sections. So you as a user can if you're going through the presets or even going through your own catalog, you're generally thinking, okay, yeah, this is where I'm going to put my leads. This is where I'm going to put my pads, and kind of build the sounds that way. It's a little bit all over the place, but I think maybe everybody in the industry was figuring it out at that time. My first impression on this keyboard is that it is good. If you had bought this instead of the Roland back in the day, it probably would have still served many of your needs. The build quality is really good. Like, unlike Roland's, all the keys still work. Everything seems to be functional. The backlighting is still on after 35 years or however long it's been. I'm not really as let down by this keyboard as I thought I'd be. I know we're going to spend some more time going through the patches and going through what can be done with the synthesis. As you can see in the upper right corner of the keyboard there is like a display of how the tones kind of overlay and some elements of how the synthesis works. I'm still completely unaware of how any of that works. I just bought this keyboard. But I do want to explore that because it seems like there's probably some cool things you can do. I don't think this is going to be a mind-blowing keyboard. I don't think this is like a must-have. And knowing that there's so many like kind of oddities that happen with the touch sensitivity, I would definitely think of this as a keyboard I would sample into my VST rather than something I would use live or use as part of my rig. But anyway, I hope you like this video. It keeps going. And please do like and subscribe if you want to hear more content like this.